Hey everyone, I'm Nick, and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be checking out a universal Android Auto and Apple CarPlay screen. Now, I really like this type of screen because it allows you to upgrade your car without having to go crazy modifying your sound system or anything like that. So today we're checking out the XPMOBQ RC06 10.26 inch universal screen. So let's see what's included. Already comes nicely packaged here. We've got the unit right here. Very nice. It's a good size, feels sturdy, which is nice. We got a nice size screen, 10.26 inches like I mentioned. And it'll do wireless Android Auto and wireless Apple CarPlay, which is always nice. There's also another neat feature with Android, which is called SuperLink, which allows you to play media from your phone with your phone locked or to mirror your screen. So we'll test that out too. See, it has a built-in speaker. It'll also play audio over an FM transmitter or via an aux output. So if your car has an aux input, you just connect this through there. Your sound from your Android Auto or Apple CarPlay will go through the original speakers. You can use the FM transmitter if you don't have an aux input in your car, or you can just use the built-in speaker so that, you know, in case your car's original stereo isn't working, you have a way to hear navigation and stuff like that. We've got a couple outputs here. We've got our aux output, a video input, which we'll get into a little bit because it actually comes with an optional backup camera, and then we have a USB-C port for power. Right here already mounted is a flat base mounting system, but I think there's also a suction cup base. So if you wanted to permanently mount this to your car, you could use the adhesive or screw holes, but that is up to you. And this just slides down and out. Yep, here's the other mounting arm, which is a suction cup. So you could use this to attach it to your windshield or on your dash if it's flat enough. And so you can adjust the angle. It is a tacky suction cup too, so that works on a lot of surfaces. And it extends. So we've got a ball mount on the end. This one will pivot. And right here is the lever for the suction cup. So just place it, flip the lever down, and it should be attached. So, and the way this works is just like the other. You slide it on and slide it up, and it locks it. Right here we have our 12-volt adapter with the USB-C on the other end. We have an aux cable included. Looks like we've got a nice length here. And right here, the backup camera. So this can mount inside or outside. It's got an adhesive mount included and 2 screws, so you can choose either way to use it. It's got a 4-pin connector here, and this red wire can be used to wire into the 12-volt for your reverse lights, so it can automatically tell this to turn on and display it on the unit. And then right here, we have a manual. So let's see, multiple languages, English, Spanish, French, Italian, and German. So this covers the interface, how to connect your phone for CarPlay, Apple AirPlay, SuperLink, and Android Auto. So as I mentioned, there's multiple ways to connect this to audio. So you have the built-in speaker, the Bluetooth audio, so you can connect your phone's Bluetooth audio to the car speakers, but also still use wireless Android Auto and wireless Apple CarPlay with the screen. You've got the FM transmitter and the classic tried and true aux input. And we'll test a couple of those out in a car. So now that we've checked out everything that's included, let's go test it out in a car. All right, so now we're in my Range Rover, and as standard, this doesn't have Bluetooth input, it doesn't have Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, it has FM, it has an aux input, so we'll be testing those out. Now, first thing we want to do is to figure out where we're going to mount this. I think we could do, let's see, flip this over. We could have it go to the windshield back here. Maybe we'll do that. Or we could have it on the dash right here. It's personal preference. Probably put it on the windshield. Try that out. here. Now, if you're gonna mount things to your windshield, be sure you know what your local laws are. That varies from state to state and country to country. That looks good. Get our 12 volt. It's got a really nice long cable, so you could run it to wherever you want. I could actually plug this in at the rear 12 volt socket if I wanted to. And the plugs are on this side. Plug it in here. There we go, booting up. We'll choose our language. And now we have our display. Let's set the brightness to maximum because it's a sunny day. Looks pretty good. As you can see, we have our main screen here. Shortcuts to home, brightness, volume. And this is all with the built-in speaker right now. Turn the screen off. Just tap it to turn it back on. We got our CarPlay, Android Auto, SuperLink, audio output, which is currently set to speaker, and settings. So screensaver settings, auto dimming, have it on or off. Actually, you can have it based on time too. So you can set your brightness. If it's night, it'll auto dim between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. You can set how dim it is, so from 100 down to 25 automatically. So this is nice. It's very nice to have this control. Driving position, we're on the left, but if you have a right-hand drive car, you would change that right here. You got language, which we saw at the beginning. Assistive touch. Clear connection, so if you have Bluetooth and Wi-Fi and you want to reset it, you can clear it here. And a factory reset button. Oh, and there we go, we have a software update and firmware. So it says some instructions for how to update, so you would have to connect to Wi-Fi and then do it. But if it works, you shouldn't need to change anything. First thing we could do, I guess, is we'll connect Android Auto. So just tap into Android Auto, switch to Android Auto mode, we'll confirm. And we're gonna find our device in Bluetooth here. And here we're looking for the device named T86B B52E. So the last 4 digits and numbers will depend on your unit, but T86B is the main name here. So I found it in my Android phone, pair, and it should auto connect. Okay, allow it on Android Auto, and there we go. Let's go to our menu screen here. So as you can see here in the menu, all the apps I have installed on my phone that are compatible with Android Auto will show up. So that is good. Things like Pocket Casts, and then we'll go into Spotify, and we can test out the speaker. So right here we have the built-in speaker, and you can actually touch this little soft button here to turn it up or down. That works. We've got a shortcut for brightness as well. And then we have a shortcut to go back to home. So that is the built-in speaker, but I also have the aux cable plugged in, so I'm gonna get that connected over here. There we go. We're gonna go to our home again, audio output, and switch to aux. So there we go. We can go back to Android Auto. And now we have a really nice full sound from the car, which is, so you can control that with your volume knob or your steering wheel controls because you're adjusting the volume on the speakers. Now, next thing we're gonna do is test the FM transmitter. So we'll jump back out of here, go to audio input, and go to FM here. So let me find that on here. We're gonna go to radio. Let's see, I have 97.9, I think. There we go. This matches this here. This is not a radio channel in my area. You'd want to find a spot where there's no FM channel that is in use. And then now, this is outputting on 97.9. The car's receiving on 97.9. I go back into Android Auto, hit play. And we have the song playing. And same as before, you can use your steering wheel controls, your speaker controls, and it works. So that's really nice. I'm gonna switch it back to aux. Actually, you can tap here if it's not in onboard speaker mode. If you tap there, you can it'll bring you to the audio output selection menu. If you had a car that had Bluetooth built in for audio, you would toggle it here. Then you would connect your phone for audio to the car's system, and then connect to this for Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. So we'll switch back to aux. Now here I want to switch over to CarPlay, but Android Auto is connected. So the way to disconnect a phone from any wireless Android Auto or Apple CarPlay system is to turn off Wi-Fi and turn off Bluetooth. So I'm going to do that. You just toggle them off on your phone. It should automatically disconnect. We'll see that switch off. There we go. And that means we can go into CarPlay mode. So I'll ask if you want to switch to CarPlay mode. We'll do that. And just like for Android, we'll look for this Bluetooth in your phone to connect to it. There we go, T86B, B52E, hit pair, and we're in. So this is Apple CarPlay. And just like in Android Auto, any apps that are compatible with Apple CarPlay, like Google Maps, Pocket Cast, Spotify, they will all show up in here. So now if I go to Spotify, there we go. So that is all working. Very nice. Now if you want to switch back out of Apple CarPlay, you can use the soft button here, or you can just tap Smart Screen. That'll drop you right back into the main menu. There's one last thing I want to try. I'm going to plug in the backup camera. Connect that right here. To see right here, now we have a little camera button, and we're right here. So when your backup camera is plugged in, you could turn it on manually. Now, as I mentioned in the unboxing, there's this red cable here. So if you were to wire this to the 12 volt in your reverse light, it would send a signal to the head unit to automatically switch to this screen where the camera is. So when you put the car into reverse, it would automatically switch to this view. Now, if you don't want to worry about that, you can just run this to wherever you want and turn it on manually if you want to use it as a reverse camera. Yeah, it's very neat. You get a ton of length, so you could run it into your windshield, your rear windshield, or something like that. And then you just back out of it. Really a good set of features, really easy to use and easy to set up. All right, so with everything tested out, let's get inside and test out SuperLink. I'm gonna get in here, switch to SuperLink mode, and we're gonna be using Android, but it does also work with Apple. So we're gonna scan the QR code here. I'm gonna be installing the EveLink app. All right, so we're gonna start by connecting a device. We have the name here, EveLink B52EE0. Let's add the device here. We're gonna use Wi-Fi Direct. Allow connecting to nearby devices. Select that device that matches the name. I guess we'll try mirror casting first. We'll do while using the app. We'll start casting. So if your app is in horizontal mode, it'll fill more of the screen. If we get back in here, let's see. We can also play phone media files. So if you have AirDrop mode, you can go through all your media, so you can load in whatever you need. So if you have video files, you can just play it directly on it, and that is even with your phone locked. So if we go back to mirror casting, open YouTube, for example.
Well, isn't that it, right?
And you gotta control it from your phone. So that works well. That's a very neat extra feature. So that's the XPMOBQ RC06. I really like that it lets you add Android Auto and Apple CarPlay to any car, and it gives you a lot of options for your audio outputs to keep your existing sound system. If you want to get one for yourself, I'll leave a link in the video description, and I want to say a big thank you to XPMOBQ for sending me this unit to review. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, and if you have any questions, let me know down in the comments. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.